Hi, you guys. Okay, let's talk a little bit about rewriting beliefs. So here's the thing, it's hard to rewrite a belief because our beliefs are playing out as if they're true without question all the time. It's kind of like if you haven't had any injuries or disabilities, you are pretty much expecting to be able to get up and walk the next time you try, right? Now, if you have a disruption to that ability, then you might have a disruption to the belief that that's true, and it will be developing a new belief. Maybe if, let's say, you have a really stiff back and that starts to be a problem when you get up, you might believe now I have a stiff back all the time now whenever I get up. And that could change, but that's your belief. Okay? So beliefs are hard to change. So you're looking for triggers and programs in order to change the belief so that you can bring the belief out of automatic pilot and into consciousness. So you're saying to yourself, what triggered what I'm trying to change, right? What event triggered that? And then and you go back to your first lessons and how do I discover? If then, if then, if then, okay? Now, when you're trimming away the connections, you're making room for the beliefs to change, okay? And and you can also use your language to kind of talk about this. So like let's say I have a stiff back, and instead of saying I have a stiff back and that's the end of the sentence, it's I have a stiff back right now, or I'm experiencing a stiff back. I mean, language does matter, words matter, as we know. And so we're just trying to get our belief systems to kind of unwire from the absolutes so that we can actually shift them. Okay, when we start to shift the belief, it starts to show up differently in our life around us. And sometimes I will say that when you're rewriting beliefs, there are people around you that you've all agreed to believe something, and they might get uncomfortable with your change. Okay, so they might start to be like, well, wait a minute, you're beginning to believe that? That's not true. I encourage you to make your friends and family uncomfortable with your changes in belief and be willing to be questioned about what you're doing and how you're shifting. But if you're making them uncomfortable because of a belief that is limiting all of you, wouldn't it be great if you could shift it? So basically, rewriting your belief is identify it, find it, disconnect it from its triggers, and then start to believe what you want to believe new. Like put in there an intentional belief. Like if I believe that money is hard to come by, and I don't want to believe that anymore. After I've figured out all the triggers and all the ways down, and I intentionally say I want to change the belief that money is hard to come by, then I would say to myself, what do I want to believe instead? And you don't want to trip the BS meter, okay? You don't want to trip the meter that says that's not true and it never will be, okay? So you don't tell yourself a lie. You just give yourself a stretch project of what you could believe. What can I believe besides money is hard to come by? I can believe that money will come to me. I can believe maybe that money will come to me when I need it. Can I believe that money will come easily? Maybe I'm not ready for that. But if I move the bar just to money will come to me when I need it, it's still better than money's hard to come by as far as a belief system. And then once that new belief system really gets going, money is coming to me as I need it, you can revisit it and see if you can stretch it again now that you've lived in that reality for a while, absent from the previous belief. So it's really coming back and sometimes just stretching and revisiting and stretching and revisiting until you're to a place where you're happy with what you believe about a certain topic. All right, so read the lesson more about how to go through the steps. There's a guided meditation there for you too. So, kind of a guided exploration of how to kind of look into what beliefs you might put in place of the ones you're stretching out. Okay? All right, go be amazing.